My name is Kristen Henderson. I'm currently the interim administrator at the Wellness.
I remember meeting you when we were at Elmwood and with Ginny and Bobby through the Zoom. What were your initial thoughts of OK to Stand Up in those meetings?
Initially, honestly, I was very skeptical. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like a part of my, as I said, I'm the interim administrator. My real job with the network is Senior Director of Clinical Services, and so a part of that job is to vet new innovative products. And so I've done my share of that. We've looked at other products. I can't say that we've done an as in-depth of a trial anywhere before OK to Stand Up. And so I'm usually underwhelmed. And so, like my first impression was, here we go again.
Okay. So we've been at, your care organization here for 30 days, more than 30 days and 30 nights. And the residents have used it as well as the staff. What do you think are the strengths of OK to Stand Up?
We figured out the fall rate before and after implementation, and I mean the fall rate reduced by so much that it's almost like, how can you not afford it? But when you only consider that we only used 15 devices, and on those 15 people, none of them fell.
None of them fell.
Yeah, so that's
great.
Super cool.
Would you recommend this product to other healthcare organizations or your colleagues?
I would. Absolutely.
Can you repeat the word that you told me in a previous conversation, saying that we were a godsend? I love it.
That is true. I mean, we did have some problem children, and they, they're the ones that are trialing it, and they've had no falls. So how can you argue with those results? Like I said, several times in this conversation, is that you almost can't afford not to use it, because now that you know that it does work and it reduces falls, I mean, isn't that worth it?
My name is Debbie Scoggins, and I'm one of the neighborhood managers. I oversee the first floor, which is skilled, and the third floor. I am the person responsible for reporting the number of incidents in a 24-hour period. And I can tell you that I have seen a dramatic decrease in falls. So to me, that was enough to say, okay, that's a good thing.
Okay. In your 30 years, I'm sure you've seen a lot of products come and go, right? So how does OK to Stand Up compare to those products?
So, let's think about an alarm, for instance, that would attach to the patient and then the wheelchair or whatever. A lot of times the staff would refer to that as their babysitter, because the alarm would sound. But the bad thing was, by the time they got there, the patient was already on the floor, which in comparison to the OK to Stand, they're already alerted before the person is up. Like they're alerted with movement. So that's the difference, I believe.
What would you say the weaknesses of OK to Stand Up would be?
So what the feedback that I'm getting from the staff, yesterday in particular, a staff member came to me and said that the one patient kept triggering it, and it would say, I think she said hi or something, and she would go in the room and the patient would be okay, but the patient moved a lot. And I told her, okay, it's okay. As long as the patient's not falling and it's alerting you, you're doing the right thing. Just go check the patient, they're good, continue on.
With our product, we're asking your staff to carry a phone, or we have it at the nurse's station. What are your thoughts on that? Was it cumbersome? Was it helpful?
I think it was very helpful both ways. I never got any complaints about, I don't want to carry this phone. And I worked very closely with the unit secretary, and she was like, oh no, it doesn't bother me, it's not a problem. So yeah, I don't think there was any problem with that.
Do you think OK to Stand Up met your expectation?
It absolutely did. It exceeded my expectation, to be honest.
Would you recommend this OK to Stand Up product to other healthcare organizations?
Absolutely. So let me just say that everyone in my family is in the healthcare business. Brother's an administrator, all my nieces are nurse practitioners, and I've been talking about it to them, and they're like, that sounds amazing. And I'm like, it really is. So I would absolutely recommend you guys.
Sure. My name is Taylor McMahon, Director of Nursing, and I've been here for 10 years. I've always been anti-alarm because I felt like they are reactive and not proactive. And this is much different because it's proactive, right? So that's why I was really intrigued with this technology.
Okay.
I think that my expectations were just to see, a reduction for the individual that is utilizing the device in the amount of falls that they have, and hopefully preventing any falls from occurring.
Do you think we met that your expectation?
Yeah, I'm thinking of one resident in particular that since she had the device on, she hasn't fallen, and she was averaging 3 falls a month. I think the only thing that concerns me is some of our residents, family members are used to this device, and our team's used to this device. So it would just be after the trial, what's next, right? So that's the only, I guess concern I would have is just, because we like it, we love it, and our family members are excited about it. It's okay when the trial ends, just okay to stand up, go away. So, yeah.
Based upon your experience with us and the product and the feedback that you've had, would you recommend this product to other healthcare workers or organizations?
I would, and I'll be honest with you, like I said before, I thought it was more like an alarm until I actually saw the product in action with a real resident and understood it's not an alarm. Mm-hmm. It doesn't alert you when the resident's already on the floor. And so that's why I think I would recommend it, because I've been such a huge advocate against alarms for many reasons, that this isn't an alarm. And that's what, it's utilizing technology to let us know when a resident is moving in a way that would allow them to stand up. Yeah. So that's what I think the coolest part of this product is, and I would definitely recommend it to long-term care communities.
So I'm Kathy Hammer, and I'm the administrator here, overseeing the personal care operations for Westminster Place. And I've been here about 15 years, a little bit more than that. Heard a little bit about the trial and some of the success. I thought that'd be pretty exciting to try it out on some of our residents here, because it is a little different in personal care. You don't have as much of the support, staff like they would have in our skilled settings.
Were there any challenges or issues that arose either from the usage, from the CNAs, the certified nursing assistants who were watching them during the night? Did they express challenges?
I haven't heard that personally, except for the fact that, hey, if there's only one of us and we're doing something, of course, how do I prioritize? And I says, if you can get someone there safely, the sooner you can get to someone, the better it would be, right? Sure. Early interventions can help prevent a fall, and that's what we want to do.
Well, thank you very much, Kathy. I appreciate your time and letting me literally barge into your office.
No, this has been a learning thing, and it's so cool that I was able to participate in it.
My name is Beth, and my job title is a certified nursing assistant.
Yeah, what's your first initial
My
thought?
first one was a little I was a little nervous because, again, some of the residents don't like initial new things, especially if they have like dementia. They don't like the stickiness that as you were talking about, putting it on them. Sometimes they don't like being woken up trying just to take it, put it on and stuff like that.
So you were being sensitive to their
needs, not my their needs. Yes.
Great. In terms of your use and your experience, what do you think the strengths of OK to Stand Up is?
I know it stopped more of the residents that were more frequent fallers. I know that has actually stopped, and that is a great thing. I don't like when they fall and have pain and all the other stuff.
Well, my name is Dana Robinson, and I'm a lead med tech here. I've been working with Presbyterian about 2.5 years, in healthcare in general over 20 years.
What were your initial thoughts on OK to Stand Up as we introduced it to?
Oh, I was excited when Kathy first told us about it, touched on it. I found it very exciting. And
what made you feel excited? What was the aspect of it that excited you?
Because falls being the number one thing in the elderly population, any way we could avoid the fall, because you always hear call before you fall or things like that. A lot of the residents don't want to call or don't or don't have the capacity to know to call. So if we have a way of stopping a fall before it happens, then obviously it's something we want to do.
Could you tell me some of the strengths of OK to Stand Up based upon your usage here?
Like I said, the strength is you're getting an alert when they're starting to get up. You're not getting the alert after they're already up and on the floor.
Okay.
So that's the biggest thing. It's a no-brainer, like I told you. Why would you not want to use this product? I mean, if you're going to be alerted when someone's getting up, then you know, okay, let me get in there before they try to get up on their own and end up on the floor.
Okay. What about the weaknesses?
The weaknesses are not so much with the product at all. It's with staff utilizing product. You know, it's not going to work if you're not turning it on, if you're not looking at it, if you're not using it, obviously it's not going to work. So that would be the only downfall. There has to be a way to make sure that staff are utilizing the product.
And did you have expectations of OK to Stand Up as you heard what it would do?
It met my expectations. Like I said, we needed a product that alerts staff when that person's getting up. Okay, we have some residents that without this product, I wouldn't know. If I'm doing my rounds, I'm down the end of the hall or whatever I'm doing, I'm not going to know that said person is attempting to get up to go to the bathroom until I do my rounds again. This way I know and I can get there quickly.
Right. Were there any challenges that you faced in using OK to Stand Up?
Not really. I mean, it's just like carrying you're carrying your phone around. You're just carrying another phone. So it really wasn't any type of obstacle for me.
Were there any unintended consequences or negative effects of using OK to Stand Up that you saw?
Not really. I mean, like I said, I love the product. You know, if it could be in home care too, I would be something I would have for a loved one, for sure.
Okay, and that would be my next question. Would you recommend this to a family or a friend or a colleague?
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. Any other, like I said, any way that you can avoid a fall, why would you not want to do that?
Bonnie Bame. I'm Hickory Haven's nurse manager. I run the floor here at the Willows. And I have been with the Willows 15 years.
What were the strengths of OK to Stand Up?
I think you're 100% strong, to be honest with you, because once we put a device on someone, they did not fall. They did not fall. And I had a very high frequent faller, and she has not fallen since the device was put on her.
What about the weaknesses?
The weaknesses is getting the staff on board. You know, and you and I have discussed that. The staff, with this shape of nursing right now, we're very tired, we're very frustrated, and I think some people feel that they're put upon if something new comes into their cycle. But once they get the gist of what we're doing and how it's going to help, then they come on board, and it becomes easier for you, it becomes easier to use the device, and it works.
Do you think OK to Stand Up was effective in helping staff reach residents before they were up?
Yes, that is a fact.
Did you notice any improvements in the residents' health outcome?
Yes, because when elderly fall, there's always an injury. It's either a skin tear, head injury, broken hip. Very rarely do you not come out, the outcome not be good. You know, it was just, a fall and everything's fine. There's always an outcome. However minute, there's an outcome. But if you get to them, like your device has you, getting to them way before the incident happens. So my rate of skin tears, my rate of fall injury has gone down on this unit alone. And we were your pilot unit, and I thought you rocked it out here, just to be honest. Yeah, you know that, because I told you that many, many times.
Thank you. Were there any unintended consequences or negative effects of using OK to Stand Up here?
No, not at all.
Would you recommend this OK to Stand Up product to other healthcare workers or organizations?
Yes, most certainly. And I would do that to families, because I think your price point, because you and I have discussed this before, your price point is actually very good. For a year, compared to a hip and an ER and an ambulance visit, an ambulance can cost up to $900 to get you out of here. Okay? And a hip, it hurts you financially and hurts the resident mentally. So I think you've tagged all that, and if your price point is less than all that, then it's most certainly, if it was my family member, they would have it.